Welcome to VA Creative and part 43 of the Ultima RS build, and on this episode, keep tuned because I've got some news to share with you. In fact, it's a car show where my Ultima, regardless how much it's finished, will be on show, and I'll be there for the full weekend to answer your questions. Yes, you heard that right. The RS is going to be at a show nearer the end of this year, whether it's complete or not. And then you can come along, look at my handiwork, and of course I'll be there for the duration to answer any of your questions. Unfortunately, the creative director can't come along because the hotel I'm staying in doesn't accept furry friends. Anyway, more importantly, spannering. On this episode, I'm going to be jumping in the back of that car again and then trying to finish off that firewall. We have the coolant pipes to fit. We have the fuel pipes to fit, and then the air conditioning system. So a fair amount of work. So I think there's only one thing left to do. Let's just get spannering. What we're going to do now is, we can see here, this is the hose that comes from the heater. And what this does is comes along on basically along here, and then it feeds into this sort of H piece that looks a bit like a musical instrument. Anyway, and this goes out here like this. What I need to do is make sure I choose the right one of these. I think it's the top one. I've got to double check this. Yes, that's top. Like this. So that's how it looks like. This fits on. And one, two, one, two, so next piece. And here. So
leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase. I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. Making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. Friends, these are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. Making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive.
Main part of the cooling system installed now, and next my focus is going to be on the fueling system. Now the fueling system, as you can see here, we have one more fuel filter to fit. This is the 100 micron fuel filter, after which we have 12, no less than 12 braided stainless steel -6 AN fuel lines, and they are beautifully constructed. Now, I'll put some close-ups just up here of what these actually look like, the construct of them, but you have braided stainless steel as the actual tube itself, the hose, and then on the ends you have these beautiful anodized aluminium connectors that are either 90 degrees, they are either 45 degrees, or they are straight. And what these do is they make sure that fuel, that go faster juice, is actually plumbed around the engine bay perfectly. And on each one of these, what Ultima have done is they've generated, or constructed them rather, to exactly the right length. So this one is 435 millimeters, whereas this one is 480 millimeters. And I tell you what, that saves so much work when you're building a car. So what we're going to do next is go over to the RS, we'll pop inside the engine bay again and start fitting these to the firewall. Interlude time! Yes, I'm going to share with you the car show I'm going to take my RS to. It's in November, it's in the UK, it's in the NEC. And for those of you who haven't guessed yet, it's the Classic Motor Show. And that is on the 10th, 11th and 12th of November. Now it's a big event, and the stand, which is being basically put on by the Ultima Owners Club, will have not only my Ultima on show, but 3 others. We're in Hall 1, and I tell you what, it's going to be pretty impressive. And what I want to do is talk to as many of you as possible, because I'm there for the duration. So, if you want details, up there, these are the cars that are going to be on show, and also the contact details of how to buy tickets. If you're in the Ultima Owners Club, a post would have gone out on social media at the same time as this video going live to tell you all the details about where to stay, etc, etc. So, let's get back to spannering. Right, we're going to pause for a moment here because I can't really fit all the fuel pipes until I know exactly where the other pipes go. Now I know the coolant pipes, I've done those, but the aircon pipes, I'm not quite sure. I've had a look at the portal and I sort of know where they go, but what I'm going to do now is open up this, which is basically the rad for the air conditioning unit. And basically what this does is this mounts in one of the side pods and basically gets the heat out of the coolant that cools the car, if that makes sense. So let's just open this up. Now, as you can see here, the cooling matrix, which is made of aluminium, which is very nice, is cooled by an electrical fan as well, so when the car's standing still. And what I'm after is exactly where the inlets and outlets go. And this comes mounted on brackets, 2 aluminium brackets that have been preformed, one here and one here. And I believe, we'll fit it in a minute, that goes on the inside of like the clamshell, the bodywork. And I think this I think goes on the side of the fuel tank. Anyway, let's fit it and see where it fits. So I've decided the best thing to do here, because this is very busy and tight in here, is to remove this carbon fibre scoop so I can actually see from this side, from the outside, where this rad fits. So let's take this off. And I must say, when you are building a component car, you get used to putting things on and then taking them off again and again. It's one of those things, because you're usually probably doing it the first time. This is why the factories can build these cars so quickly, because they learn. So if I was to build another one of these, which I'd really like to actually, it would be so much faster. But this is a voyage of discovery, and we quite like that. When handling this, just be very careful not to touch the fins, because what you'll do is dent them. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Right, that's a success. Okay. Right. So this goes underneath here, and to get this down, let me get my GoPro and I can show you this side. Where is it? Okay, if we look in here, you can see this needs to go behind this foam here. So I'm just going to get a little ruler and ply that out. Now, so many of you say, where's Rufus when you're doing your filming in your later episodes? Well, he is here with me. I'll show you where he is. I'll be very quiet because he's hard at work on the creativity of my episodes. And I must say, you can see here, he is there with his favourite toy, his monkey. And also there's a bit of a chewing bit of wood there. That's actually a root that he chews when he's bored. But anyway, he's there working hard, clearly, as I'm working on the car. So, you all right, Rufy? You're a good boy, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yeah, it's hard, this work, isn't it? Oh, yes. Right, I'll put the music back on. That's why it's always good to have a good fixing. I've checked for clearance underneath. I can still get the union on. So here we have what's known as the AC dryer. Basically what it does is takes any moisture out of the system, and that sits on this little bracket here, and the output is this that then feeds the aircon unit under the dash, and the input this side comes from the output of the rad. Now what we need to do is drill a hole through here to accept the union that screws on there. Now this may seem like I'm not completing one job before I do another, but the thing is, routing the cooling, aircon and fuel systems, to be honest, you really need to do them all at the same time because it is so tight in this car, in this engine bay, that if you don't want to start making mistakes, you have to do this. Sort of put them all in at once, all systems, and they're not really doing any of the zip ties up really tight until it's all done. Now what I've got to do is mark on here where to drill this hole to accept, let me show you, to accept this. So this is basically going to come through this wall of this rear bulkhead. Nice.
Whenever I'm with you, I am alright. There's something about the way you make me feel inside. I'm counting down the days till we fly away, heading to the sun, only you and me. Don't wanna waste another day being stuck here in this place. No, I wanna hold your hand in mine, watch the sunset in your eyes. Baby, I want us to act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud. This could be magical. Whoa, whoa. This could be magical. Whoa, to escape, and here we are, driving narrow streets in a rusty car, leading to the sea. Think we're getting close. We should take a pic, baby, strike a pose. I remember every day that I spent right here with you. Yeah, you are the one who makes me feel as good as I do. Baby, I wanna still act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud. This could be magical. Whoa, whoa. This could be magical.
And there we have it. Another episode draws to a close. And I know that Fireball needs a little bit more tidying up, but I've run out of time before I have to edit all this content to get it ready for that Friday feeling. So in the next episode, what shall I focus on? Well, I've got a few choices at the moment. I could move on to fitting the headlight covers and the side windows, or I could take the rear clamshell and fit the wiring and a few other items to that before I pop it back on the car. Anyway, until next time, put your thumbs up, leave your comments, because I try and answer every single one. And of course, if you're not subscribed, please tick that little box. So, as I always say, keep smiling and happy spannering.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun.